Hello and welcome. I'm Mary Gregory, leadership coach, facilitator, and author. And it's Monday, so it's time for my weekly Monday motivation. And as you know, if you were watching last week, this month's theme is all about change. So I'm going to continue that theme today in inviting you to think about an element of change that often we don't give it enough attention, really. And that's because it takes a bit of attention from us to understand what is actually happening. And I think the thing about change is that it is ultimately an emotional experience for all of us. We cannot go through change without it impacting us emotionally in some shape or form, through it being a sense of loss, through it being a sense of expectation, whatever those feelings are on an emotional level, change impacts us. And the thing about emotions is that we do obviously have a whole spectrum and a whole host of emotions that we experience as human beings. But from my point of view, as I've gone through my own life, I've learned to appreciate that there are two main emotions that influence us the most. One is the emotion of fear, which can cause all sorts of other emotions to be expressed. For example, anger is often a defense against underneath what's going on as we feel fear. And the other emotion that we tend to feel is love. So we have those two main emotions of fear and love, one being positive, one being potentially could hold us back. And when change raises its head, when we know we have to go through change, normally the emotion that we experience is one of anxiety and fear. But the thing about our emotions is that fear is quite closely aligned to excitement. And if you think about it, when we're getting nervous and we're getting agitated or anxious in some shape or form, which are all different versions of fear, our behavior can often be quite similar to behavior that we might express when we are being very excited about something. So there's a slight difference between that fear and that anxiety than there is to the excitement element of it. And that's because usually when we're excited about something, we're thinking about it in a positive way. So we've shifted our expectations towards something and made it positive for ourselves. So therefore we have that experience of excitement. So my question for you this week is to consider, when you are facing a change or when you're working with a client who might be facing change and they are experiencing fear, what would it take for them to move towards feeling more excited? So what might they need? So it could be they need greater clarity. What might they need to shift in themselves? Could be they might need to learn to trust more. But what would help them move from that experience of being fearful to being excited about the change? And that's the question I'm going to leave you with to mull on over the coming week. And maybe notice for yourself as well, when you might be feeling fearful, and think for yourself, how can you move into that place of feeling a sense of excitement rather than fear around it? So before I go, just want to remind you that I have a Leadership Live coming up on the 26th of October, and we will actually be focusing on that session on leading change with empathy. Again, acknowledging that change is all emotionally led. It's our emotions get activated when it comes to change. So being able to understand and act with empathy between ourselves and with the people that we're leading is so crucial to that. So the session will all be about how to lead change with empathy and take people with you so they feel engaged and empowered. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week. Bye for now.